Now we have to get into the principles of defending, a very important part of the game. And if you don't have the basics down, then you can forget all of the rest. So in order to understand how to defend, obviously you guys should know standing straight up is not going to work. We want to get set. That's the first thing. We don't want to turn completely sideways. That leaves us very much exposed on both sides. We want to be at a little bit of an angle, okay? I'm mainly left-footed, so I lead with my left foot. All right, if you're right-footed, it would be like this, and it's also going to depend on the strength of your attacker. Keep low, keep at a little bit of a bounce. That way you can move back. What you never, ever want to do is turn your back like this as a defender. You guys have all seen the highlight reels of guys getting torn up like this. So if we brought in a superstar attacking-minded superstar player like this guy right here, you could see J-Mike is right-footed. So obviously it would be best for us, and especially considering the goal, if we would push him to the outside and away from his foot. So it would be like this. We would keep ourselves right here. Now, as we go back, one thing we definitely don't want to do, if J-Mike is coming in on us, just lunge in like this, leaving us exposed, thinking that we're going to grab the ball immediately. So if I knew he was coming in, immediately I come like this, I check like that. That gives me a chance to at least wait for some cover and not dive in. So guys, depending on where you're defending on the field, it's going to be important that you listen to the people behind you. You can't always just run in and think that this is going to be the best way to defend. It might even be possible that you might drop off. Your defender behind you will let you know what's best to do.
Learning to communicate as a defender is quite possibly one of the most underrated aspects of the game. You should actually look at each defender as a leader of some sort. You don't defend in silence. Depending on your position, it may be necessary for you to organize the guy right in front of you, the whole defensive line, or even tell the entire team to push out. Regardless of where you are, you need to take responsibility for giving your teammates in front of you the proper instructions. If you're behind a teammate and you can see more of the field than they can, and instructions should never be complex. You call their name, you tell them to drop, push, force them left or right. Whatever you do, don't leave your boys hanging. If you haven't learned this by now and you don't pay attention, then you will find out the hard way when you get megged or completely burned, because there's no easier way to get smoked as a defender than by rushing into tackles and not assessing the situation properly. No, you can't contain forever. What you should do is sprint in, and when you get close enough that the attacker has to worry about you, you get set like we explained and wait for the right time to make a move. The key is figuring out when's the right time to strike. And a little trick that you should get used to trying is to step in at the point where the attacker has extended his stride the most. Right after they take a touch and their foot is headed back to the ground is a perfect time to step in. As with all things, practice will make you better, so always train with and against skillful players so you can level up. This is a simple and useful tool for all defenders, and under no circumstance when a player has his back to goal should he feel as if he's not under pressure. If you can time a nudge or a slight push at the same time the player is receiving the ball, you can force them off balance and get them to play it back, or at least not allow them to turn. And it's not always about winning the ball. At times, if you can delay forward movement, that means that your teammates can recover and you guys can get set behind the ball. Be sure not to be too aggressive near your own goal. There's no need to commit a foul when a guy has zero chance of shooting. And lastly, don't overuse this. If an attacker realizes that you're consistently staying tight on him, he will rightfully try and spin you. Learn to mix it up as you play, and you'll find it'll make you more efficient. We spoke about this once before, but it's just too important not to talk about, since it's something that all defenders will deal with. Attackers with a lot of pace can cause you some headaches, so you have to learn to deal with them. If you get isolated 1v1 with space in behind, know that they will try and use that space to their advantage by playing the ball into it and taking off. Instead of chasing after them, learn to throw your body into their path and then immediately start heading for the ball. By doing this, you can neutralize their speed. When containing, always give yourself a bit of extra space when you're up against speed. The real problem begins as a defender when he gets you on your back foot or plays a ball in behind. Always be aware of your opponent's strength.